number 11 and 46 is number 11.
Broadcast in the church on number 11.
Okay, ready? All right, so let's all get closer and let's begin a tour of this room.
Hi, I'm Julie.
Yeah, but join you, man.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah.
One hour. So we are walking. And as you walk, photos are free. You can take all the photos. You can ask questions. Comments are equally welcome. But I'll begin first with a brief intro. How many? Alright, the rest of the people.
They're actually coming. They're two more.
Yeah, that's why I said you call me. So they can find it. They are where? They are rather standing there. Okay, let's begin. Enjoy this. No, I can see them there. Now, this is historic Cape Coast dungeons. But, brothers and sisters, the word Cape Coast itself, it is a corrupted Portuguese word from the word Cabo Corso, which means short cape. The British corrupted that one into Cape Coast. This structure we are in this hot afternoon is the youngest and the last slave dungeon in Ghana. Of this country, we have 3 of these major dungeons and several of the forts along the coast that were built by Europeans. But the first one is at Domina, which was built in the year 1482 by Portuguese. The one in the capital, built by those from Denmark in 1661. This was started by the British in 1665. Basically, this is the youngest. This one was built at the time transatlantic slave traffic started on the continent of Africa for some 200 years already. The old British built this particular castle. This underground dungeon, they kept 1,300 black people at a given time in the dungeons. This part was 1,000 were here. Women were another side, 300. They stay minimum 2 weeks to 3 months. These dungeons, all because of availability of British ships. But 1807, British passed a law that they stopped this trafficking. And that was led by one William Wilberforce. 1814, Holland also passed the same law. But from that time to 1860, on this continent, slave trafficking did not stop. That alone continued for 40 years. So they named that one illegal. So 1860, everything ended. After that, we used the structure as a colonial and administrative center. The British controlled this building up to the time Ghana became independent on the 6th of March 1957. Now leaders moved the British out of the building. So the structure, as at 2025, it is 360 years. Almina, the oldest and the biggest, is about 543 years old. I also went to the museum here. Some have not been there. Good after the tour. You enter the museum, you see that before the British started the construction in 1665, this piece of land changed hands from Portuguese through Swedish people, through Danish, and through Dutch into the British. That happened within a period of 10 years, from 1654 to 64. When the British conquered the Dutch, 1664, and they built this dungeon, and they were trading. They knew other Europeans were attacking. So you see these cannons. British brought all these cannons for defense. That was why we were able to stay here for about 200 years. Nobody conquered it. So this is in a way a short intro before we begin the lesson. So let's start from this place. Let's start from this. Go to the dungeons. There's a large room in the dungeon. So let's talk about these graves. We'll go there very soon. Now, this whole yard was called a graveyard. They bury a lot of people here, half of Europeans. So clearly you can see that even in death, there was separation. Black person and British white. That is for one person by name C.B. Whitehead. He was a soldier. He died in 1838. Up to today, we don't know what killed Whitehead. This was somebody by name, even in death.
Yeah.
They knew they could separate black person from white.
Yes.
Do you know Cape Coast more?
No, I just came.
Are you a
I
Ghanaian?
missed- Yes, I'm a
Have
Ghanaian.
you ever been to Cape Coast before? There's a place in Cape Coast called Bacana,
Bacano. I heard it before.
where we have the fourth station.
Yes.
That is where we have the cemetery for the
Acting. Okay.
I am with you. And the point is this: you have to bend very low as we enter the cell. Bend very low. So let's go. All of you bend low. Don't try to. Don't assume you are short.
Wow. At least they have lights here.
I'm one of them.
Oh, yeah, no, the internal lights. No. So this place,
But this is too small. Hey.
at least the other one is a bit bigger.
This is serious.
Can you imagine the heat? The heat and the smell and everything.
Hey.
This is not a comfortable place. And this was actually a condemned cell
Wow.
for some of the enslaved Africans that British kept in a dungeon on the way to sea. And Africans were maltreated. So the Africans, they were suffering. The dungeon was smelling. So some of them were fighting British. They wanted freedom from the dungeon. They wanted freedom. Men like us, they chained them. They brought them here. This cell has 3 doors. One door here, another door in the middle, and the last one. We lock all the 3 doors. They won't give them food, no water, no air, and they kill them. They died through starvation. They were doing that to serve as a deterrent to others want to rise against them. We have the last door left, not closed, open. But look at the feeling here. If they lock the 3 doors in your head, just imagine. That was how British, who brought the Bible, they had the church at the top. This is how they kill Africans. The Christians, they were Christians, don't forget. Actually, we are not that, we are going back. So they told themselves as Christians.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. You could even find a passage in the Bible to justify it.
This all actually started from the male dungeons where we go later. But there's a huge group there, that's why we are here. So the dungeon is underground. So where they kept the men, when they were ready to go with them for about 3 months, they don't bring them outside. They walk from the dungeon through this hole to the exit called the door of no return. But the men walked through this to the ships. This opening was for where Europeans would monitor the movement of Africa. They check on them. They monitor them. So just stretch your leg, you see a hole. You can't go inside, you can just have a look.
Oh, okay. Just a hole. You see, it's a big one. Yeah. So they. That one, it depends on the ship. That was the middle. They want to go to the time where the ship. So it depends on the ship. Please, let's go inside. you remember, we entered a cell not long ago, and that was a condemned cell. This was a cell. But this cell was designed for some of the female captives that British wanted to rape.
Yeah, that's super. Yeah, it's really handy.
Wow.
Europeans did not come to Africa.
Ah, you know,
Very true, right?
This way. Now, this and this were told for dungeons for women. But all the two are busy, and there are two groups in there. So we come back very soon, also come out. So let's talk about this one. This is a door of no return, ladies and gentlemen. The door was here, but this is not the original. The original was quite small and narrow, which was built for one human being at the time, one. So they bring a man from the tunnel, and the man from the tunnel, the man from this two. They change and they go through, nobody can open it. But the dog was made bigger like this during British colonial time. We happened to visit the Mina Castle, and Mina has original. It was cheap. And if you go through the door of no return, during the time of slave trafficking as a black person, one, you will lose your identity. You will lose your culture, respect, and everything. From this particular castle, some of the captives were taken to North America, United States, places like Jamestown in Virginia. That's it.
Alright, we can.
Largest black population in the whole world outside Nigeria, in Ethiopia. As of today, 2025, Brazil have a black population of about 93 million. That is the first outside Africa. We are going to go through the however. Okay, let's see the few of them first. Let's go inside the office. But not all of them were from Ghana. Some came from Ghana, others from South Africa. And they take from Ghana.
So,
you see, this is one of the dungeons for the women. Women were 300, 150 were here. The same thing here. So we go to the male dungeon. And the Africans were treated badly. Women in this dungeon will go to toilets. They will urinate. At the end of every month, they pass their menstruations. Women pass their menses here. For 3 months, they didn't allow them to clean their teeth. They didn't bath. No sanitary pad. And upon all this humiliation, Europeans still rape the black women. So anytime they wanted to rape, there are some rooms at the top. They live up, they'll come down, they'll open this. The other one, they'll look through like this, they'll select one of the women to go and rape. They still refuse the rape. They brought them to the other to that cell. They punished them. You know, some of them became pregnant. So when they're ready to go, women who got pregnant were freed. They built some houses for them in Cape Coast Town using bricks. They allowed them to stay there. The women became free. They gave them everything. When they gave them, sometimes they free the mother with the child. They'll take care of the mother and the baby up to like 10 years. They'll go and take the light skin baby from the mother. They'll bring the mother here again to come and suffer as a slave. And the women gave birth to mulattoes, or light-skinned children. And British gave names to those children. That is how come, along the coast of Ghana, where Europeans settled, we have light-skinned people. Some of the Ghanaians who have European surnames. We have Ghanaians who have surnames like Van Dyke, Van der Poel, Bartels, Da Costa, De Souza, Johnson, Coulson, Ferguson, Morrison, Williams, Jackson, McLean, Bannerman, Taylor, Brown, Bruce, Dixon, Smith, all the censuses.
Bartius.
Do you know some of these names?
Yeah, Bartius.
Okay. A lot. I don't know all this.
Say, I wanted to know. Say, I wanted to know this thing, man.
Yeah, a lot of them came from Mali, Burkina Faso, and they walked all the way.
That journey alone is not a child's play.
Yeah, this gadget here, where did you buy it?
But
Boat. When the boat, they go to the bigger ship. Nobody came back again. Now the ship is going back. Because at that time, this construction was not here. This was done 2 years ago. This is a fishing village. You can see from the background. So take some pictures after that. I will explain the door of the fair. Then we can say. All right. Now look at me. Look at me.
Selling way. So you always tell me that there's always conflict among some of the same fields.
you are retaining.
You're returning.
Yes.
Young Kimbra, young Kimbra.
I don't know.
No.
Also, maybe the camera has turned.
Every time you can go here.
Oh, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, they were not clean. The toilets rose to the bottom of these lines. The toilet reached this height. Reached the height surface. Oh, don't count there like that, please. The toilet reached this height. You can see. Reached this height. Reached the height surface. The bricks was covered. But 1974, University of Ghana Archaeological Department came to do excavation here. When they found these bricks, that was when they marked them. So these archaeological levels. So many died. Those who died were thrown into the sea. They cleared all the toilets in 74, but they left a portion, which is here. So my only sister, they come in. And look inside the fence. There's something there like a square. Look at that one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same like the bricks?
Mm-hmm.
Now look at the difference and tell me whether it's the same like the bricks.
No.
So this is toilets. That is why we have fenced it so that generations will come and see. So this is how the floor was like. That's how it is. So this is the third one, which had 200 people. So this house, these ones were windows, what do you say? Windows. This one was a window. At the same time, it was a spy hole. But the church I talk about, the church is a Anglican dungeon, the Anglican church. So British would go to church at the top. They will shout hallelujah. They will say, love your neighbor as yourself. Find it. Can you say it properly? No. There are bricks underneath this brick. There are bricks underneath this waste. This toilet.
This is offices. This is unbelievable.
Sometimes if you don't come here and somebody is telling this in your home or in your hotel, you might think the person is crazy. It's a matter of coming here and see what happened and you believe it. This toilet solidified. This is what the British did. And they were Christians. They were Christians. So out of the thousands, by the time they were ready to go there, a lot died. Those who survived, they bring them from the darkness. When they reach here, you remember when we were going to the evil dungeon? I showed you a tunnel that I said was blocked. I said you look at a part. Do you remember?
Blocked by McCarthy?
The tunnel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It started from the ground. And they walked straight to the door. That's what we have seen already. But the hole was blocked when the train stopped. They did that to signify the end of this trafficking. When they bring them from the darkness to where we're headed now, when they were here for a month and more, some were sick. So when they got to the sick ones, they selected them like this. They sent them to that small room to go and wait, just to allow the stronger ones to go. That was why they created this window, because then there was no electricity. So this was created for them to see who is sick and who is not sick. They call this dungeon selection room. This is a shrine which was not here. But the shrine was here before British came to build the castle. It belongs to the indigenous people. When the British came, they built the castle. They stopped the owners of the shrine to come closer to pray. The local people came for that shrine to their community. So when the British left, they brought it back here. This was brought in 1960. So these flowers, they were laid by the descendants of the Africans in the diaspora who come from the US, Europe, Caribbean. Whenever they come, we go around and they say, but they cry. After that, they leave these flowers here in the memory of ancestors. That's what we are doing. So this afternoon, we will not go to the sick bay or going through the tunnel. We are free. So let's move. With a spy hole. This is a hole. This is why I said they will listen to what was happening. So before they enter the church, they listened to the mood of the people, whether they were crying or wailing, singing, whatever. They will go to their church, they will go and pray. They preach Bible here. Now the church is a library. Right. It's not my church. So remember, the mill dungeon is all the way here, from here to there.
complex. We are just within the castle. You don't need to get tired at all. Now we are back to the and then they came barefooted in the forest. Sometimes in the village were only 2 days raining, it will be raining. No shelter, and then they walk chilling like this. Just imagine that. Sometimes reaching beauty like one hour, you'll be feeling cold. Sometimes when it will be raining, I feel sound. This is the reception area for the government. We have no reception area. So we are going to see that when they climb.
Sustain again.
Let's see the communication. Listen. Listen. Go inside, have a look. Communication room, have a look. Okay. Look straight, you can see another building.
Yeah.
So now you come out. Wow. What did you see from there?
Oh. Oh.
There's another building called Fort Williams. Now talk about that very soon. But let's go to the bedroom. Captain's dressing.
We always reach there.
Communication room. Oh, this is where it's started.
I know what you're saying.
Yes, there right here. Sorry.
What are you communicating to?
So we are in a governor's bedroom. That was amazing. This is a Maclean's Hall. Is everybody here?
Yeah.
Maclean's Hall was simply British colonial courts. When we're talking in the courts here, I told you after slavery, we went through colonialism for 113 years. And this is 400 years of slavery. We are talking about
500 in 13 years. And we replace the party and our continent negatively. So, let's come around here. Are you tired like that?
No.
I told you how they got the black book, and I said they captured it from Mali, Niger, Burkina, and they walked from Salaga. They walked from Salaga through Brangahafo region, through Kumasi. When they got to Asemans, they had a couple. When they back from the last time. And arrived in the castle before they go to either male or female dungeons. They brought them here for auctioning. This was the auctioning block. After that, they would brand them. They would design a mental stamp, put it in fire, see that trademark, and they'll brand it behind. Before they go to the dungeons. This was auctioning block those days. The Ghanaians here, you remember the bond of 1844 that was signed between 8 fountain ships and Britain. That was the first time the local people gave our land to British